And we're back with more Doctor Who news, or rather, the showrunner, Russell T Davies. He has been very vocal since the show started its downward spiral, all due to his decisions.
Oh, that's too bad.
Too bad. Yeah. It's like been running for 60 or so years and gonna burn it to the ground. Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies says it is his job to let trans and queer stories through.
Who died made him God.
I don't know, maybe God came out as a Decepticon. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe in his
no.
mind. Oh no. In their minds, God is always been or God's both. I mean, to me, I don't really. I mean, let's say there's almighty power above you, right? Which most people do. I don't really associate gender to that myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
In the lead up to the worst performing Doctor Who episodes of all time, current showrunner Russell T Davies declared it his job to let trans and queer stories through. Yeah, just read that. Reading it
That's
again.
insane. I mean that's the that is the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
He says, I'm always aware, especially as time marches on, that I carry this legacy of being white, male, and gay, and it is my job to look beyond that because there's no point in sitting still. I have to look at myself and be certain that I've moved on. Now, when I read that, the only way I can read that is he's ashamed. He's playing his shame out through Doctor Who episodes. How do you read
Oh,
it?
well, I have questions about he wants to move on from what? I mean that doesn't really make any sense unless he's
Well,
ashamed of who he
he
is.
started it out with saying he carries this legacy of being white, male, and gay. And then he says about looking beyond that. And then about moved on. To me, it says shame, shame, shame. And he's the one fueling the shame.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't really feel ashamed of being gay. What he should be ashamed of is this travesty he's created with Doctor Who.
Well, he goes on to say, one of the marvelous things about being gay is that actually you're always in the news, whether you want to be or not. It is, it's in every presidential election or prime ministerial election in Great Britain. Someone will ask about gay rights, someone will ask about queer rights. You find yourself in this remarkable position of always being topical and newsworthy. So, this to me says he's using queerdom as like a buzz topic to rise in fame.
Oh, that's
I
awful.
mean, how's it sound to you? Don't I mean,
Well, the thing
I don't want to
is
be the
to
only
me,
voice here.
I know, but to me, he's like, you're right. He's using his fame, his gayness to boost himself. He's not really caring about anything else. It's just all about himself. And infamy is the same thing as fame.
And like I said, he's been very vocal. He dismisses critics of his decisions to focus series on queer themes in a dark little corner, people might argue, but that's not the real world. Well, the internet is a very large place and it's real people on it, except for those bots I'm sure you put everywhere. I have no doubt of it. Or maybe the producers, I don't know, whatever the case. The internet is composed of real people worldwide, as in worldwide web. And to further that, am I mistaken? I don't know much about Europe, but am I mistaken? Isn't England just kind of a bump in the road of a place you can travel through quite quickly where there's very limited space?
I think so, but I'm not
I
sure.
mean, can't
So,
you fit like a good portion of maybe all of, of Europe in Texas?
yeah, I believe
So
so.
doesn't he have that a little bit backwards?
Well, I mean, he seems to me like he is so delusional that
Echo
people
chamber.
that people are screaming at him that this the show stinks now, and he's just refusing to listen.
Yeah, in a dark little corner. Um, this isn't such a little corner. I mean,
No,
I usually have a lot of space where I live, and it's very bright most of the time. I
yeah.
mean, okay, I know I shouldn't take it that literal, but still, it's a big world, and it's the world versus Russell T Davies, and he seems to have it flipped around in his head.
Well, my thing is this. I mean, if I take offense to this, because just because you're gay, that does not automatically mean you get special treatment.
He says, I wrote a story called Queer as Folk in 1999 that broke down many barriers, and I'm never going to step back from that. So he's definitely trying to make a name for himself using queer baiting, essentially.
Yeah. And I mean, that's wrong. I mean, you should not do that
Onto
because it's just, it's stupid.
onto more of him being vocal. Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies, unfazed by criticisms of his latest lore changes. If things are polarizing, we're in a healthy position. Well, if you are drawing people in a positive way, yeah, but no, the opposite. Again, the opposite is happening. You're pushing people away.
Well, he's
That
just,
is unhealthy.
yeah, he's ruining the whole franchise, and it's gonna make people not want to watch it or hate
Okay,
watch it.
we have
So,
an alien who can transverse all of space and time, and he decides to come to Earth to dance and sing and be merry old gay. This does not add up.
okay, why would an alien like Doctor Who choose to be
Of
this?
all in space and time, all the galaxies, the alien species, to the beginning of time, to the end of time, and he comes and goes, I'm gonna be a gay black dancing man.
I mean, just he could just as easily come back as Jesus, right?
Not necessarily. I don't know if it works quite like
Well, I
that.
mean, like Jesus. Know what I mean?
I suppose some analogies have been made as such.
So if he could do that, why in the world would he come back as
Well,
this?
it would kind of break his character to act as a Jesus figure, but this also breaks his character. He says between introducing the concept. Wait, no, actually, this is from the article. Between introducing the concept of bigeneration, revealing that the issue of human Time Lord meta crisis energies could be solved simply by being a woman, and his confirming that the concept of the timeless child is still very much in play. Russell T Davies' latest run in charge of Doctor Who has already seen him make a number of controversial changes to the series. Long established canon, and while fans may not be too happy with his choices, the showrunner is standing by each and every one of them. So they had a conundrum in the story that he thought, oh, I'll just make the doctor a woman. Ta-da, fixed. Ta-da, that basically is sloppy writing.
That changes nothing.
Okay. Yet more, like I said, he's been very vocal. Okay, Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies gives Collider interview admitting he turned the show into a queer self insert. So many people are doing that. So many people. Okay, especially when you have a story full of characters, not just singular, but many characters, and you want to make it all like you. That's bad. That's always bad. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of writer's handbook that will tell you that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do that. You want to make it interesting for a majority of
That matter.
people.
He doesn't look very black to me.
Yeah, why? I mean, how in the world would he know anything about black people or their culture or anything like that? How?
It's queer baiting and it's, going with what's deemed popular by the kids and, that kind of thing.
Well, That would be like me trying to be a black woman. It ain't gonna happen, you know? It's just, the whole thing is just wrong.
Russell T Davies made it clear the show would put extreme leftist politics over quality. Okay, this whole identity politics with the transgenders and the put blacks first and all this, I didn't used to see that as left politics, but apparently it's become such now, and that's highly disappointing.
Politics should stay out of things like this. Politics should stay where
Hey,
it belongs.
get this. Even the sonic screwdriver suffered because it was considered too much like a gun. So it became the ridiculous redesign that fans mock as looking as a sex toy.
Oh, dear Lord.
He claimed the show would venture into pushing the LBGTQ agenda and pro abortion messages and made multiple statements that he would knowingly upset fans. What the hell does Doctor Who have to do with abortion? He's not an actual doctor, you know. He's not like getting my TARDIS. We gotta get that baby out of you.
I'm very, very confused.
Let me get my sonic toy. Oh man!
The sonic screwdriver did not look like a damn gun. It looked like a vape
or a pen
or a flashlight
or a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for this video.
I don't think I could take much more of it anyway.
We're out.
Thanks.